All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We are live once again for a live stream with everything latest on Chelsea Football Club. And some interesting news. Jorginho's contract extension conversation that's taking place. We want to talk about Jonathan David. There's some news that apparently Graham Potter wants Jonathan David in January. I find that news quite strange, to be honest. You've got Aubameyang, you've got Armando Broja. Sometimes you tend to use Kai Havertz up front, so I don't know if I can take that Jonathan David rumor seriously, but we'll talk about that. And of course, we want to talk a little bit about Brentford. That's the match coming up. This isn't the preview. I'll do a separate preview, but we can have a sort of a conversation about Brentford and see what you guys have to say about that in the live chat as well. Get a discussion about it. As much as we're worried about Ivan Toney and Mbeumo, I just tweeted it out. I'm more worried about probably the goalkeeper. In matches like these, the goalkeeper ends up being one of the best players for the opposition, and it could be a madness for them. Thank you for joining to each and every one of you guys. Nearly 50 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button, get those likes up to 50 immediately. We're going to try and get to that 100 mark by the time the stream finishes. We'll probably go for about half an hour or so. Have a nice, entertaining discussion about everything that's sort of happening, that sort of in terms of Chelsea news that has happened over the past sort of 12 hours or so. More so probably recent news. Big up to you, Frederick. Good to see you, my man. Haven't seen you for a little while in the live chat. Good to see you. RN, good to see you as well. Timothy. Verna Iswara, good to see you. 150k is peace for us. Give him 200k. We'll definitely talk about all of that. Phenomenal thing. Good to see you. Shubra, good to see you. Yes, Ms. Even Raya is on form for them. Yeah, I saw the highlights against Brighton. David Raya was on some smoke, man. Absolute smoke. So let's see, man. Let's see what it turns out to be. Hot take, we lose to Brentford. Oh, man, that ain't no hot take, bro. I can't. I don't want to. I mean, can it happen? Yes, of course. It has happened last season. Last season, they actually had us on the ropes all the time that we've played them. Even, I think, in the cup game, even though we won 2-0, I remember the cup, we might have won 2-0, but it wasn't straightforward. Definitely the first game when we won 1-0, they battered us right at the end. The final 20 minutes, it was all Mendy, to be honest. And then obviously the last game, or the later on in the season, the second sort of match in the Premier League, they completely demolished us. So yeah, man, these guys, physically, we don't seem to be coping with them. That's our biggest issue. Matthew Lee, Benjamin, good to see you, my man. Big up to you as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get cracking straight into this. This is the latest that's come up in regards to Jorginho and his contract. We all know contract is coming to an end at the end of this season, could potentially go out on a free. So what do we do? What do we do about it? Jorginho has been unable to find an agreement over a new contract in early negotiations with Chelsea. The club presented initial terms that would keep his wage similar to his current 120,000 a week. However, he wants 150,000 a week. Now, what do we do? N'Golo Kante potentially is not going to get a new contract with all his injury concerns and whatnot. Are we in the same boat for Jorginho? Can we afford to lose both Jorginho and N'Golo Kante? That's huge amount of experience, huge amount of quality. Kante obviously for other reasons in terms of being injured, but Jorginho, look, there is good value for in regards to Jorginho. I'm not talking about monetary value. I'm talking about his skill set. His skill set is quite important. Do you know what I mean? Yes, there's flaws, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie that Jorginho doesn't have flaws. When you've got fast, physical team running at you, Jorginho could get decimated at times. But that also goes with his teammates not being able to sort of stay close by to him. But that's because of a deficiency that Jorginho has. He's not extremely mobile. So if you leave him exposed, he's not going to be able to handle 1v1. Let's be honest about that. Off the ball, could be a bit of an issue. We saw that last season. We've seen that ever since Jorginho has joined at Chelsea Football Club. However, with the ball, Jorginho, there's a lot of benefits. Not to say that defensively he's not well astute. He can do a very good defensive job as well, but the entire team has to be in tune. Jorginho is the kind of player, if you've got the surrounding players working hard together, then he can have a great sort of match. But if the entire team is not able to have, is not in tune, then he gets exposed, and his individual qualities, defensive-wise, is probably doesn't cut it at times. So we know there's deficiencies. However, as I said, it's not like he's a mug in defense. He can definitely defend. There's no doubt about that. With the ball, however, there is an epic need for a player like Jorginho because he's able to control the midfield. He's able to control the tempo. He's able to, at times, stop the match from being a basketball game, much like what we saw at times against Aston Villa. And not just against Aston Villa, against many other teams. Whenever Jorginho hasn't played, most times, there are games where Jorginho hasn't played and we've looked okay as well. It all depends, with the opposition. As you know, against AC Milan, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic did a fine job. But then Kovacic and Jorginho did a really good job away from home. So it really depends, the situation, the scenario, the atmosphere, the opposition, it all matters. But as I said, with the ball, Jorginho, he's able to control the midfield. He's able to control the tempo. He's able to find some key passes at times. Doesn't always find them regularly, but he can do that. It's in his bag to do that. There is a need for a player like him or his skill set, for build-up. So if this kind of player leaves the football club, we have to replace him with a certain player that can do that role, as well as the deficiencies that he has, who can, somewhat take care of those deficiencies. So by taking out Jorginho, let's just say for argument's sake, if you guys say like, nah, you know what, Miz, we don't want to give him 150K. That's too much for him. He's, now more than 30. What's his age now, man, Jorginho? I think he is more than 30, isn't he? In your age. He's 30. So now we're into that 30-year zone. Yeah, see, this is a very good name. But Enzo Fernandez, I don't think he's a deep-lying player, though, is he? I've not watched Benfica too much, but I don't think Enzo Fernandez... Just have a quick look, man. I want to bring this up. This guy is the latest sensation that's gone around, isn't he? Enzo Fernandez stats. Actually, hold on. SofaScore. Let's go with SofaScore. I want to see his heat map. Okay, he can play DM. You can see over here, DM and then central midfield. So I had no idea because I've not watched Benfica, so he can definitely play that. Everybody wants Enzo. Let's look into Enzo Fernandez a little bit. So Krishna, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. I'm not taking anything away from Jorginho, but I think we can find a way better register. Jorginho isn't the most consistent, guys. 100 watching, like it up. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Like it up, ladies. Over 100 plus now, 110 watching right now. Smash the like button. Yeah, you're right, Si. Like, Jorginho, even though his skill set is invaluable, he's not like the only player in world football that can do what he does in terms of that register, deep-lying playmaker role. We should be able to find players that can do his role even better. then he can. Do you know what I mean? And defensively can be a lot better as well. But looking at this Enzo Fernandez player, someone saying 177 centimeters, no thanks. I mean, man, do you want all players to be like trees? There are going to be certain players that are going to be extremely tall, which is absolutely fine. You don't need every player to be tall. Anyway, Enzo Fernandez, Argentinian background, 21 years of age, 177 centimeters, right-footed midfielder, can play DM, can play midfield. This is his heat map. So it looks like he's a central midfielder, someone who could definitely play as a deep-lying sort of playmaker. And there's a lot of hype about him, man. There is simply a lot of hype about him. Let's have a look at his stats a little bit over here. Let me just see if I can increase that a little bit. There we go. Obviously, this season, what was he doing last season? Where was he last season? 2021. He was playing for Benfica last season as well. Just the hype wasn't there, was it? But yeah, you can see the heat map, central, very, very central on the right side, obviously. So yeah, definitely. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't he able to play the deep lying playmaker role, the register role? Goals too. Look, I'm not really interested about goals. I want to look at his passing accuracy. There you go. Accurate per game, 84%. Own half, 90%. Opposition half, 81%. That's very good. Long ball, 68%. That's very, very good indeed. Defensively, possession 1. Dual pass game. Okay, so is he the quickest player? See, I haven't really watched him enough. How quick is this guy, man? Aerial duels won 55%, ground duels won 48%, successful dribbles 85%. Okay, yeah, probably need to watch this guy a little bit. But live chat, let me know. Like, how is he? Is he quick? Is he good in defense? I definitely know passing wise, he's sensational. Everyone talks about his passing and how good he is. But I want to know from you guys, how is he without the ball? Off the ball, let me know his skill set. Kante can't play as a lone pivot now, does he? Enzo Fernandez is the real deal. There you go, from Damien Duff. We need a Fabregas type of player to replace Jorginho. Exactly, man, exactly. And there's a lot of hype about Enzo Fernandez. While you guys tell me about Enzo Fernandez's sort of skill set, let me know, are you keen on the 150K per week for Jorginho? Would you like to keep him? Do you know what? Like, for me, losing Kante and Jorginho in the same window is probably going to be detrimental. I don't want to lose both of them, and both of them are leaders as well. Don't forget, leaders are very, very important in the larger spectrum of things. So, see what Sai Krishna has shared over here. Dennis Zakaria said to hold crunch talks with Graham Potter and Todd Bowley over his Chelsea future this week. The Swiss midfielder has yet to play a single minute for the club and could return to Juventus in January. I mean, look, man, crunch talks, dude, you're not going to get game. I don't know why Todd Bowley got this guy. Seriously, I really don't understand why Todd Bowley got this guy. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, going back to this particular situation, ladies and gentlemen, would you keep Jorginho? I feel like maybe there is a case to keep Jorginho. Can't be losing both Jorginho and Kante. I think Kante is going to go, man. He's looking for a larger contract. He's injury prone as hell. He ain't going to get what he wants to get with Chelsea Football Club. We're not going to give him that contract. With Jorginho, it's another 30K more, to be honest. I mean, his current wage is 120, and apparently the new contract that we're looking to give him is in the same par as 120. Depending on how many years he's getting, he's probably going to get maybe 2 plus 1 year. And then he can potentially look to go to Italy after that. But he's looking at 150K. So does he have any leg to stand on for 150K? Maybe. You know, he's won quite a few stuff with Chelsea Football Club. Number 3 in Ballon d'Or, not this one, the last one. Obviously, this one won by Karim Benzema. Well deserved as well by Karim Benzema. He definitely deserved it. Jorginho has to stay. Jorginho is a leader in our team. Well, there you go. Blood has said his words. Extended for a year and buy a competent replacement. Allow the new guy to adjust and fit, and then let him go season after. Yeah, I think. Look, can't have two players go out on a free, can we? Kante and Jorginho. That would be mad. Maybe extend Jorginho out and then somehow make some money out of it after a year, as RN is saying, extend it out and then let him go the season after. Better to keep Jorginho than Kante. At least Jorginho is available. I'd keep Jorginho as his good leader as well, so good to have him around. Some people have said Tonali as well. Tonali would be awesome, man, but these type of players in Italy, especially from Italy, like say Enzo Fernandez from Benfica, like players from Portugal generally will leave Portugal and come to, either Spain or Premier League. But Italians, like, let Jorginho go and get Tonali. Very difficult to get Italians to come over to the Premier League. I mean, I know Scamacca has come in, Jorginho obviously, but these type of players, the Italian internationals, man, very rarely do they make that move from Serie A to the Premier League. Especially Tonali playing for AC Milan, man. I mean, you could probably understand if it was like a Sassuolo or maybe even Atalanta or something like that. But teams like AC Milan, Juventus, Napoli, there's a player that, this is not register player, but there's a couple of players in Napoli that I like so much. One is Raspadori. Like, he is a sensational player, attacking player, creative player, goal-scoring player, but I highly doubt he would ever leave Napoli, man. That would be sensational. Tonali is too slow and will get red carded easily. I don't think he's slow, but would he adjust? Yeah, that is a bit of a question. Bruno Gomes, man, wow, what a player he is for Newcastle. I mean, he was killing it in Lyon as well. So fantastic business from Newcastle. Bruno Gomes is probably worth a lot of money now, man. So to prize him out from Newcastle, which ain't going to be easy. He probably makes a lot of money in Newcastle. Newcastle got money now. Jude Bellingham will be decent for us, man. That would be sensational. Obviously, we need some revamping in midfield. Is Jude Bellingham potentially one of the players? There's obviously heavy links with Declan Rice. Yeah, but does Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice both happen together? Highly doubt it, man. Highly doubt it. Simon Phillips' newest tweet. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, we just had a look at this, man. What's this? Check this out. Asked again about a move to Chelsea. Leandro Trossard told Play Sports, it's very difficult to answer that. That will have to wait until after the World Cup. This guy would be keen to join Chelsea, and I would be keen to taking him as well. Dennis Zakaria could cut short his loan deal at Chelsea in January after failing to make a single appearance since moving to Stamford Bridge. The midfielder is set for talks about his situation with manager Graham Potter and co-owner Todd Bowley this week. Yeah, man, look, what a mismatch this was, man. Like, honestly, I don't understand why we got Zakaria. But yeah, Zakaria can leave. He's not getting any game time. But yeah, man, I think the bottom line with Jorginho is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to cry if he leaves, but I think both Jorginho and Kante, if they both leave together, I think that could be detrimental. I would love to keep both, but Kante is just no longer reliable. Jorginho, there's a lot of value. There's a lot of good in Jorginho that we can use. But as Sai Krishna said earlier on, and as a lot of you guys have said, we probably can find someone out there instead. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want Rice or Alvarez. Do you know what? Alvarez, I got excited by Alvarez. The first time I saw him earlier this season against Liverpool, he was somewhat looking all right. But Alvarez, the more I've watched him after, man, the guy gasses up. Like, the guy gets tired as the game goes on. I don't know, man. I don't know about Edson Alvarez. Like, yeah, he's okay with his passing, no doubts about that. But sometimes awareness, defensive incapabilities are there as well. So I don't think he's all that everyone kind of made him out to be. But look, I've only watched a small sample of matches, but look, players like Jude Bellingham, and even honestly speaking, I think at times, even myself included, massively included, Declan Rice probably just gets disrespected a bit too much, man. He's one of the better ones. So players like Edson Alvarez and whoever else, are they that much better in terms of playing as a defensive midfielder? I don't think so. Ruben Neves would be a very good one. Ruben Neves wanted Barcelona last summer. Whether we go for him, I don't think so. Okay, next up, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Jonathan David. But before the 150 plus, over 150 watching right now live, smash the like button. Let's get those likes up to 100 immediately. Only 49 likes to get to 100, and there's 160 of you guys alive. If you guys are enjoying this, smash the like button, get it up to 100 likes. That would be extremely wonderful. Thoughts on Caicedo, however you want to pronounce it. I think it's Caicedo. Some people say Caicedo. I like the guy, man. I really, really do. But I think he can play as a DM. I definitely think he can play as a defensive midfielder, as a number 6. I think he's more of a number 8, more of a box-to-box midfielder. I like him, and I would take him at Chelsea Football Club. There's no doubt about that. Miz, we don't need Rice. We should get a better player. Let Potter decide. We need technical plus physical for the DM. Yeah, look, I agree, man. I've always talked about that. We need technical and physical, not just physical. We need technicality. Can Rice perhaps improve under Graham Potter? We need to think about that. Rice isn't like super old, you know what I mean? Like he's what, 23, 24 max? I think he's 23. Maybe he's 24. So there's still room to improvement. I don't believe this Jonathan David stuff, but I have seen that he does like playing from the right. Look, yeah, let's talk about this rumor first up. I can't see how this is true. You've got Aubameyang right now. You've got Armando Broja. You do play Kai Havertz at times through the middle. How's Jonathan David going to happen in January? It doesn't make sense to me. So from that perspective, it completely doesn't make sense to me. The other perspective is, look, I know he's good, but is he Chelsea good? Like, I know he's doing really well in the French Ligue 1 this season, and he's been doing well previous season. But is he really Chelsea level good? Is he someone who's going to kind of come to the Premier League and do the job against other Premier League teams? Do you know what I mean? Like, Canadian international, lots of hype about him as well. These are his stats at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just showcase that to you guys. First of all, contract till 2025. So at the end of this season, he'll have 2 more seasons left. So probably perfect time for Lille to look for an opportunity to sell. 22 years old, 1.8 meters tall. So yeah, he's decent height. 11 matches, 9 goals, 2 assists, which is a good return. They're not in anywhere else in Europe, so it's pretty much just 1 game a weekend. He's got 2 goals against Auxerre, 2 goals against Montpellier, 1 against Toulouse, Lorient, Lens, and Strasbourg. But have a look at this. Key absenteeism. PSG. They got battered 7-1. Nothing from Jonathan David. Marseille. These are the 2 teams that they're the creme de la creme of French Ligue 1. Marseille, no goals as well. So 2 decent teams. I see no goals. Obviously, look, I don't want to just pencil it down on these 2 games, but you want to see players regularly get up for the bigger games. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Live chat, you let me know how you feel about Jonathan David. I'm not really feeling it, man. I don't think he's Chelsea level kind of player. But look, Didier Drogba came from Marseille as well, and you saw the kind of stuff that he's done. Is this guy from from Lille. He played against us in the Champions League, and I don't think he did that well against us either. So I don't know, man. I don't know. This is the French table at the moment. Lille are 7th with 19 points, 11 matches. So, yeah, man. I mean, you guys let me know. Let me see what you guys have to say about this particular player. David is still similar to Gabriel Jesus. I still rather take Gabriel Jesus. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if he's... I've seen him a couple of times, especially against us, and I don't know if he's exactly has the same quality as Gabriel Jesus. But I understand, like, he wants to play like that or similar in style, but I don't think he's as good as Gabriel Jesus. His stats are very good, I can't lie. Signing David, I don't know. I think we're better off waiting to potentially buy back Tammy or even get Tony or João Felix. Yeah, look, I don't think we're going to get Tammy Abraham for what, £60 million? Is that his release clause? Something like that, something ridiculous. 60 million or 70 million, something like that, man. I don't know if Tammy is worth that much money. He's good, but yeah, I don't know if he's really cut out to be leading Chelsea Football Club. Elias, if David has a good World Cup, his price will go up. Look, let it go up, man. I don't want Chelsea to go after him. Don't want David. Jonathan David won the league with Lille. That's true. That is true. Lille did win not that long ago, and Jonathan David was part of that. So, yeah, look, there could be something there. I'd rather have Ivan Toney. Obviously, we're going to get to watch Ivan Toney against us tomorrow. Not Chelsea quality. I'm sorry, we don't need him. Lukaku will return. Yeah, look, there was some talks recently, wasn't it, about Romelu Lukaku struggling at Inter Milan. Yeah, Inter Milan are quite worried about this situation. They're not really sure whether they want to extend his loan out, and he definitely doesn't want to come back to Chelsea Football Club. So we'll see. Even Drogba came from France. Yeah, he did. But I don't know. I felt there was a different aura about Drogba, man. Like there was like Jose Mourinho spotted him out straight away. Like, what's Jonathan David like? He won the league with Lille. What was it? A couple of seasons ago, or was it last season? I think it might have been a couple of seasons ago. Did Lille win last season? Let's have a look at this. 2021, 22. PSG won last season. Yeah, so 2 seasons ago, 2020, 2021. Like, why hasn't Jonathan David moved on since then? With Didier Drogba, Jose Mourinho was quick. Like he liked him, and then you got to respect. There's a lot of things Jose has got right in terms of players, man. So for Jonathan David still be there after winning the league 2 seasons later, why hasn't he moved on from Lille? But yeah, look, I don't always want to look at it in that manner. I know looking at it in that perspective could be naive at times, but if the hype is so real about Jonathan David and he's a youngster, what's he still doing sticking around at Lille? Do you know what I mean? Miz, your thoughts on Ruben Loftus-Cheek so far this season? I still remember when you said he isn't good enough and we should sell him. I mean, he wasn't good enough. He wasn't. Like, am I wrong to say that, Starlet? He wasn't good enough last season. He was not. And I thought, let's move him on and let's get someone who is more capable. But since probably end of last season and from this season onwards, the versatility, the more consistency, yeah, perhaps he can still stick around and be a rotational player. He's changing that around. But I mean, is he going to be a regular? Is he going to be a starter? Like, is he going to take over from Jorginho if Jorginho leaves? Once Kante is fit, let's say once Kante gets fit this season, and let's say Jorginho gets the contract extension, I mean, is Ruben Loftus-Cheek going to take over and start for Chelsea Football Club ahead of Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho, when everyone is fit? Everyone's contract extension is done and dusted. I don't know, man. I don't know. But if he continues like this, of course, he's a great rotational player. He's a great versatile player. Yeah, he's definitely having a much more consistent season. There's no doubt about that. I'm not saying let's sell him now. Now there is a value for him. But if we were to sell him, let's just say, argument's sake, at the end of this season, let's say AC Milan apparently are in awe, they're starstruck with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Are we going to cry ourselves to bed, Starlet? Would you cry yourself to bed if we were to sell Ruben Loftus-Cheek in next summer? I mean, he's definitely he's been consistent. He's done a magnificent job, and I completely love what he's been doing. But let's wait till the end of the season, Starlet. Let's see exactly how the season pans out. Let's see what Ruben Loftus-Cheek can do. Can he continue on playing like this all throughout the season? And then we can sit down and go, do you know what? Maybe he's turned a corner. Maybe he has just turned a corner. So let's just wait and see. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Brentford before we wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, this isn't going to be the preview, but Brentford, they could be a tricky game for us, man. Even though we're in a good momentum, we've got 4 wins in a row at the moment. Crystal Palace, AC Milan, Wolves, AC Milan, and Crystal Palace, AC Milan, Wolves, AC Milan, and Aston Villa. 5. We're in 5 games, 5-match winning streak. Even though we've got that, this Brentford team, man, we've always found a bit difficult against them, especially physically and the way they press. It's not like they're supremely technical. Last season, they actually got us because of Eriksen. Obviously, this season, they don't have Eriksen, but it's not like they're supremely technical, but they're physical. Do you know what I mean? They're physical. And sometimes we don't match up to them physically. Set pieces, corners, free kicks, but counter attacks as well. They're very good in the counter. They've got pace with Emu, Ivan Toney. Defensively, they're pretty good. But I feel like if we can physically match up against them, if we can physically show, be commanding and show them that, with Chelsea Football Club, you're not going to physically beat us, then I think our attacking qualities are a bit too much for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, we should have enough. Aubameyang, Sterling, hopefully Mason Mount. Do you know what I mean? Christian Pulisic hasn't got an opportunity. Maybe Christian Pulisic starts this game. You'd think we have enough to get past them, and we should. We should get past them. Make it 6 out of 6. Do you know what I mean? Move into that Man United game with a very good momentum, and really take apart Man United as well. This Man United team at the moment, again, not looking good. So we're going to head into that match with some good confidence, but at the same time, we can't take this Brentford team lightly. As I said, David Raya, their goalkeeper, don't want him to become, like a prime Peter Cech, saving everything and anything, much like what he did against Brighton. So nervous, but at the same time, I'm optimistic. I'm actually optimistic. I know they've done us last season. They should have probably won both the legs against us in the Premier League, and also in the Cup. It wasn't that easy. But this time around, I feel like we can do the trick on them. Easy money sniper. Jorginho and Kante need to go. Don't know why we are trying to give these guys new contracts. Let them go. Look, potentially they're going to go, man. Look, I think N'Golo Kante is going to move on. He's not going to get the contract that he's looking for at Chelsea Football Club. And he's looking for a bigger contract. This will be his last contract. So he's potentially going to move on. Jorginho, maybe he might stick around. He wants 150K. We're apparently offering him 120. Maybe there might be a middle ground here, and there could be something struck. But maybe after that, we sell him a year after the contract extension, get some money out of it. But we'll see. We'll see. Sport Witness have revealed. Let's have a look at this. Sai Krishna has just shared this. Sport Witness have relayed a report from Junes Fautoir suggesting that Graham Potter wants to sign a new striker in January and has ticked the name of Jonathan David on his shortlist. Thread below. Okay. Maybe Graham Potter has been keeping a tab. Maybe he wanted him at Brighton. Who knows? I know very little about this source personally. I'm afraid, so it's best to take this report with a pinch of salt. However, Chelsea was previously linked with David recently under the former ownership. So there is a chance that he is still a target at the very least. I did get word that we were still looking at him in the summer, though. Whether anything transpires here in January or even down the line, I'm not certain. What happens to Armando Broja then? Do you know what I mean? Like, I thought we're keeping Armando Broja, and Aubameyang still has a contract, 2-year contract, plus with the option of one more. And then Kai Havertz sometimes gets played up front. Yeah, what is the big plan? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. What is the big plan? Jonathan David, I don't know, man. It just doesn't make... I don't get that Chelsea feeling. Like, I don't know if I get that... Is he Chelsea quality or not? He's doing his bits in French Ligue. Can he do the same thing in the Premier League? I don't know, man. I feel like we should be focused more on Armando Broja. Like, we should be looking at giving him more opportunities as opposed to thinking about players like Jonathan David. If it's not something outstanding, then I'd rather just give Armando Broja all the time. Like, I don't want to prioritize Jonathan David over Armando Broja, man, because we've seen what Armando Broja is able to do. Yeah, look, Victor Osimhen over Jonathan David. Now, Victor Osimhen, this is worth probably talking about. This guy is the next big thing. I'm telling you right now, Victor Osimhen. Watch how he plays in Napoli, man. Beast. See, that type of a name, I can understand. Jonathan David, I'm not entirely sure about that, man. I'd rather just give Armando Broja the opportunity. Broja suits more than JD. JD will not suit CFC style. If we lose the one duels versus Brentford, then we're going to lose. We need to win the duels and let the quality come through. Exactly. Very important, man. Those 1v1 duels are very important. And Nkunku can also be a false nine, so I don't get this new structure. There you go. We've completely forgot about Christopher Nkunku as well. I think Jonathan David potentially could play in a two-man up front, maybe just behind a striker. Christopher Nkunku is coming in as well. Look, it just doesn't make sense to me, honestly. The Jonathan David just doesn't make sense to me. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap things up. We've only got 27 more likes to hit before 100 for the stream. It would be amazing if we can get 100 likes during the live stream. Only 27 more likes to go. I'm pretty sure with nearly 200 of you guys alive, we can at least manage to get 27 more likes to get to 100. Hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I shall see you guys for the preview of Brentford versus Chelsea later on tonight in a video. Do look out for that. If you've missed out on the last video before this live stream, go check that out as well. That's in regards to not having Reece James and potentially what could be the solution. Check that video out. If you haven't seen that, that's the latest one out there. Without Reece James, are we in trouble? Miz, there is a price difference, though. I don't agree with David, but Osimhen has always been a 120 million player. I get it. There is a price issue, 100%. But what I'm trying to say is I'm more excited about Osimhen. Like, that type of a player is exciting. Whereas David, and I know it's price related as well, but there are cheaper players that are very, like, for example, Raspadori from Napoli. That's an exciting prospect. Kavicha from Napoli. That's an exciting prospect. Is Jonathan David falling into that category? I just don't know, man. Enzo Fernandez, that's exciting. I know he's not a striker, but I'm talking about, these are the gems that I'm excited about. Jonathan David, I'm not exactly sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you guys soon. See ya.